There we go. All right. Happy Monday, guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Val Bozzo. I am one of the leaders of this Dash to Diamond, Fast Track to Diamond, I think is what we're calling it this time around. This is our kickoff call. This is our very first call of the 4-week series that we're going to do. So I am excited for those of you on live, and I know that a lot of you are going to be catching the recording, which is totally cool as well. We are 1 week into this group, and I don't know about you guys, but I really feel like it's going well. The content that we're putting together for you guys has been great. You know, we're really breaking it down and teaching you the way to really achieve Diamond is by making that decision first and foremost. So rank, anytime that you're doing this business for pushing for rank, or you really have that goal in mind and you have that end date. If it's kind of like that push where you're like, okay, I am going all in. I want to achieve this goal by this date. Well, you have to work for it. It's like this in life. It doesn't matter if it's your business, if it's personal, if where you're at. It just means that you really have to take charge and say, okay, this is non-negotiable. I want this because, and then you have to realize that you have to know what it is you're working towards and why you're working towards it. So one of the questions, I believe it was day 1 of our group, was, why are you here? Why is Diamond important to you? So the responses have been great, and they usually, for the most part, we as coaches, they're a lot of times always the same. Why is Diamond so important to me? Some people will say that it's for the income, it's for the recognition, it's for the fact that they know that it's kind of the first major stepping stone of their business. That's where leadership kind of starts to take form, is that diamond rank, because you have an organization of what we're going to say 12 people. So some people are like, well, how do I have 12 people if I only need 8 coaches? Well, you'll have 8 coaches, 4 and 4, 4 on your left and 4 on your right. And then each of two of those coaches, 1 on each leg, will be emeralds. So that would be 2 more coaches on each leg. So really taking that into consideration, where you're like, oh, wow, okay, so that means that I would have 12 coaches. And that is a really cool achievement whenever you're at that point where you're like, wow, I really can take a step back and I can say, okay, so I am starting to lead a team. How do I lead a team once I become Diamond? And from there, that's when we just really take it into baby steps, and we're like, you're just going to duplicate the systems that are being taught to you. So for me, I'll give you a little bit about my backstory as what made me decide that I wanted to become a Diamond coach. First of all, when I first signed up, it was May of 2013. I knew that I wanted to do this business. I thought that it was cool. I had done Beachbody programs for years. But once I signed on, I think I looked at my back office that first time and I was like, whoa, hold up. What is all of this information? I think I just need to learn about it and read about it before I take any kind of action and really tell people what I'm doing. So that was like my first thoughts. And then I think the first 3 weeks as a coach, I kind of cried like every single day, because I was like, this is so overwhelming. I'm going to just quit. Like, I don't even know where to look, where to turn. There's so much information. And finally, after about that 3-week mark, I remember just kind of taking a step back, and I was like, hold on. I am always the person that quits stuff when it gets hard. I'm always the person who just kind of, says, okay, see you later. This wasn't for me. But it's because I would just never take authority, and I would never take responsibility for myself and learn something new and figure it out on my own. So that's when I really took charge, and I got on some Monday night Dream Team calls. I decided that I was going to start there and make that my priority. That's where I wanted to focus. That and the national wake-up calls every Monday. So I knew that on my Mondays in my power hour, I was going to do more than just an hour. I was going to take it and I was going to put in my planner the national wake-up call from 10 o'clock a.m. my time to, I think it was like 10:40. So I would listen live every single day, and if I ever missed one of them, I always listened to it that week. Like I never, ever have ever missed a national wake up call in over 2 years. So that's where I kind of pride myself, because that was my very first step, was I'm never going to miss this call because it's there for us to learn the business. So, and here are the inspiring stories. So that's where I started. And then the Monday Night Dream Team calls. So on those calls, I was like, wow, I started to be inspired because I saw these other coaches who were achieving this diamond rank as they were being said. And I had no idea about the rank system whenever I first started. And even then, about a month after I really dove into the business, I would say it was like July of 2013, I still had no idea what a diamond coach was, still had no idea about volume. I was an emerald coach by that point, because for me, instead of then deciding to just continue to try to learn it before I do it, I heard on those Monday night calls, I heard on the national wake up calls, you will never learn all of this, the things you need to know in this business right away. You're going to have to learn as you go. You have to implement and then figure it out. You have to fake it till you make it, is what I would hear all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to copy the leaders. I'm just going to literally take what they're doing and I'm going to duplicate it. So that's where my systems really started. I just duplicated what they were doing, and that's what I'm teaching all of you to do. So once July hit of 2013, I was an emerald coach. I still had no idea what diamond even was. I just knew at that point, I wrote on my goal board, I wanted to be a diamond coach by, I think it was like October of 2013. I was like, I'm going all in. Didn't know what I needed to do. But my reasoning that I wanted to be a diamond coach was, first of all, I said, well, all the really cool coaches are diamonds, so I want to be a diamond coach, because I saw some of my role models at that time were Deidre Penrose, Alyssa Shoemaker, Katie Ersta. Like they had all joined just a few months before I did, but I saw them as diamond coaches. I'm like, I'm going to do that. And then I heard on the national wake up calls, guys, like they would recognize diamond coaches. And I was like, I want my name on that call. Like I want to hear my name on there. And then Melanie Mitro would recognize diamond coaches on the Monday night calls. And she would do shout outs, like the cute the recognition posts that we all do whenever someone rank advances. And I wanted that. So I realized quickly that I really love recognition. So for me, it was the cool kids were diamond. So that was why I wanted to be diamond. And then recognition. And then third, the money. Like it really was like that $14 cycle bonus to the $18 cycle bonus. That is a big deal. And at first, I will say I kind of like rolled my eyes once I was learning about that whole $14 to $18 ratio, because I'm like, really? That's not that much money for a cycle bonus. Like that's not going to bring in all this wealth. And no, it does not right away. So don't think you're going to make it as a diamond coach and like the second you turn diamond, your income is going to like quadruple. No, it happens over time. But now looking back at paychecks, I'm like, oh my gosh, that $14 to $18 truly does make a significant difference in your paychecks once you start to have that volume start to catch up. So it is so important to understand that money will grow as you continue your business and as you hit diamond. And so for me, it was that deciding factor that I'm like, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. So I started plugging away and adding some more coaches. And then I came into a push to diamond group is what it was called in September of 2013. So July, I set that goal and I started working towards it. And September, we did a group almost exactly like this one. And there was like a $20 buy-in like we're doing. And whoever went diamond got a portion of the money, exactly how we're running this group. And I went diamond, I think it was like September 31st or something like that, October 1st. So I did achieve my goal of diamond when I wrote it on my goal board. Does that happen all the time? No. Nope, it certainly doesn't. It just so happened that it did happen for me at that time. If it doesn't happen, does that mean that you are a bad coach and you should quit? No. Never. That is not what it means. So we write these goals down and we're working towards them, and we give them a date for everyone that we're trying to achieve. So that date is just something that you know that you're working towards. That is your aiming point. Because if there's no date towards it, you're just shooting an arrow in the dark and you have no idea why, where, how you're going to get there. So, I will say this. Over the last 2 years, for me and for my business, and for a lot of my coaches who I've mentored and friends in this business, I will say that when we set a goal, if we don't achieve it on that date, there's times when you will achieve it before the date you have written down. There are times when it's going to go past the date, obviously, but you come so much closer to achieving that goal on the date that you set because you set the date. So it might be a few weeks after that you're achieving the goal that you had originally set, your diamond goal. That's cool. You know what? Because you are working hard towards it. So that's really, the importance of diamond. It's something that you have to figure out for you why it means so much. Maybe some of you, you're working towards quitting your full-time jobs. I know a lot of the coaches in this group, that's the ultimate goal. They're like, I want to stay home with my kids, or I don't love my full-time job. I really want the freedom. Maybe you're like, I love my full-time job. I never plan on leaving it. That's fantastic too. That diamond rank is just something for you personally, for your business, for your coaches to see you as more of a leader because you start to lead your own teams. And then in that same aspect, you're going to start to increase your weekly paychecks. And who can't use a little bit of extra money while you're helping people to achieve these amazing success stories? The results from challenge groups. I mean, that's my bread and butter. I will never get tired of seeing people's transformations, of hearing their stories, whether it is weight loss, whether it's something mentally, emotionally, physically. I love it. I think that we're more life coaches than Beachbody coaches. I know, because I get to live life with people, and that's what I say. And waking up to messages from different people. Some people, I've never coached them before, but they've just been somebody who maybe have followed me, and they're like, you inspired me to get up this morning and work out. I never worked out before, or something like that. That's all for me. That's all that it takes to be happy for them, for my business, for my job. And that's what I want for you guys too. And again, people do see you as more credible as your rank evolves, as you hit those goals, as you celebrate them on social media. So, at first I was like, people have no idea what I'm talking about whenever I'm like, oh, I'm an emerald coach, and then, oh, I'm a diamond coach. But you know what? The more you talk about it, the more excited you are about it. Again, it's that same way with posting and inviting. You're doing it over and over and over again. You feel like a broken record, but different people are seeing these different things at different times. So maybe somebody that saw your post yesterday about, your transformation, or you're celebrating something, that same person is not necessarily going to see that same type of post that you're doing today or tomorrow. So keeping that in mind too, that building your confidence is going to come from doing this over and over again and sharing this. So, diamond is a big deal. So you'll get to celebrate that. You'll be shouted out for that. So knowing that your team, your growing team, is seeing you as that leader too, that's really, really cool for them. And they're like, yeah, go, that's my coach. So they're there supporting you too. Oh goodness, okay. So that's really the importance of diamond, and then your goals will just continue. So having that vision, sometimes I think that we can all lose a little bit of clarity on the vision. I never want you to, to say, oh, I have no idea why I'm doing this anymore. Keeping that vision clear is so crucial, and that's where the personal development comes in. So, we've been doing the 30-day push, and I hope you guys are loving it, because I have done the 30-day push over probably 8 or 9 times. And this time around that I'm doing it, I'm getting something completely different from it, because my goals are changing and they're evolving. And it's really cool to see the goals that I've already hit in my business and the ones that are yet to come. But sometimes, if you're like me, the first few times that I did the 30-day push, it was almost frustrating for me because I couldn't get the long-term vision. Like, I saw it, but it just would almost frustrate me because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so far away. How am I ever going to achieve goals to be able to be financially free in 3 or 4 years, to be to maybe possibly retire my husband? Like, those are those crazy cool goals that I've set 2 years ago. I'm so much closer to them now because I made myself keep them in the spotlight. Like, I made myself look at them every single day, no matter how far away those goals are. I'm like, nope, I have to see the vision, but I have to break it down and reverse engineer it and say, okay, well, I need to do this, this, and this every day, every week, every month to get closer to those big goals, to get closer to that big vision. And I tell you guys, I promise you, it works and it happens. And it's so amazing and it's so cool. And Chalene Johnson knows what she's talking about because that's what we are doing. We're creating this we're duplicating the system. So you're setting your goals, you have your vision, you're teaching your team, you're showing them that vision, and it's just going to continue to duplicate down the line. So sometimes I think, where would I be if I would have never got on that first Monday Night Dream Team call and heard Melanie Mitro talking about her vision and about the Dream Team and about Beachbody? Where would I be if maybe, I hadn't shared my vision with the first few people who joined my team? It's just you doing the same thing for the people, your challengers, sharing your vision and teaching them, hey, I believe in you. You will achieve your goal of losing 50 pounds. We're going to work together. And then saying, hey, next step, this is what we do as coaches. You would make a great coach because you're already doing it. So passing that on to your challengers and coaches just repetitively, that matters. So I just want to encourage you guys to make sure that you're doing that over and over again and just talking to people about it. And you guys know if you have any questions, comments, anything, unmute yourselves. This is totally low key and you can ask anything. And that's going to kind of just take me, though, into our overcoming objections. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on it because we have been going over it in this group. So I'm hoping that you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable and confident when you're getting objections. I'm hoping that by the posts that we've been doing and talking more openly about, hey, I get objections all the time too. Not everyone thinks that maybe whenever, Val messages 10 people, and all 10 people respond, and they're all like, yes, Val, message me. I want to be, what do I need to buy? No. It's not like that at all. The ratio for, people joining a challenge group, I promise you, is like 1 out of every 10. Generally, that's what I get. Melanie Mitro, same thing. Like, we actually talked about this on a call not too long ago. And guys, I always use her as an example because she's my upline coach and she's my friend, and obviously she's number 1 in the company, and we all just start at the same place. So just giving you guys that little bit of like feedback and letting you know that we have had to learn how to overcome objections. So I will tell you guys, you've seen in some of the scripts that I do, I just ask so many questions. That's all that I do. So I used to be, in the beginning of my business, I was so afraid to talk about money. Like, I would seriously, there were days that I would break out in hives. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, my neck right here was like beet red and like had bumps on it because I am very uncomfortable whenever I'm talking about money in general, let alone whenever someone's saying, well, this is really expensive. So in my business, I started out by saying, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry that the challenge pack costs this much money. Like, I would apologize for the price, and I would wonder why no one would ever join my challenge group. No one would ever want to join me as a coach. Like, I just didn't get it. So finally, I took a step back and I would read through my messages. I'm like, well, that's probably why I'm completely devaluing everything that it is that I'm trying to represent. So I took that step back, and then I just kind of started tweaking it, and I started to talk to myself in the mirror, or I would do some videos on YouTube, and I totally sucked at first. But I'm like, I'm not giving up. I have to be out of my comfort zone. I want to achieve diamond. I want to grow in the company. I have to learn how to talk to people. So I just did it. I started asking questions. When someone would say, that is really expensive, I put my shoulders back and I said, no, it's really not. You know what? How much money do you spend when you go to Starbucks? How many times a week do you go to Starbucks? How much money do you spend weekly going out to eat with friends or going out to lunch with coworkers? How much do you really spend? And a lot of people, that got their wheels turning, and it wasn't offensive to them. It wasn't like I was trying to make them buy anything. I was just asking them these questions. Most people were coming back with, they go to Starbucks at least once a day on the weekdays. Like on the way to work, Starbucks is like their first stop. Like I was shocked when I started to really dig in. And they're like, well, I need my caffeine, and I would forget in the mornings. Or like now people love the pumpkin spice stuff. So they're like, I'm like addicted. I go one day and then I have to like keep going and going. And then they talk about these Starbucks reward perks or something. I don't know. So like the more money you spend, you get like a gold card. I don't know, guys, but I'm serious. Like this is the kind of stuff I started getting back. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I broke it down. I would like literally do the math for them, and I'd be like, okay, well, if you're spending $5 a day, that's $25 a week. That's $100 a month on coffee. So I would tell them, well, Shakeology, you can get that for even cheaper than that $100. It'd be $3 a meal instead of the $5. You guys get it. So that's where the breakdown started coming from. And I'm like, this is actually like has nutrients, and I can teach you how to mix some coffee in with it to make it taste delicious, just like at Starbucks. That's when my Shakeology sales started to go up. And that's when people were starting to see, oh, okay. And then, so then if they were still now, if they're a little bit unsure, I just go into talking to them about, I'm like, okay, well, we have a 30-day complete money-back guarantee. Shakeology empty bag, if you decide you don't want it, boom, you're going to love it. But in case if you don't, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You can send it all back. I think I've only ever had one person actually send it all back. So that's just something that I will reiterate to them. And now, you know, because our best coaches, guys, are going to come from our challenge groups. And I know sometimes we don't like to hear that. I know sometimes it's kind of like, oh, but I just want to recruit everyone. I want to bypass the challenge groups. We can't. Like you cannot. People have to, the value comes from knowing what and who we represent as Beachbody, as a whole, as a company. You know, they have to know that the fitness programs are fun, that they really do work, that it's not just one DVD that our customers are getting, like you go to Walmart and get a Jillian Michaels DVD. A lot of people think that too, so keep that in the back of your mind. Teaching people, no, you're not just getting like one DVD. You're getting 9 to 17 workouts in a program, depending on which program you're offering to your new coach or new challenger. So breaking that down, so that overcoming objections, that comes in the breakdowns. So when someone's asking me what they're going to get, I go as far as saying you're going to get for the 21-day fix right off the top of my head. So I tell them you will receive 9 workouts, a shaker cup. You're going to get a free t-shirt. I tell them a free t-shirt after completion. You're going to get a measuring tape and a resistance band and cookbook, like a little cookbook, and then a 3-day fast start, whatever it's called. I have it all like written down in my notes. And I think I said a shaker cup, and then the meal prep, the color-coded meal prep containers, and a chance to win $500 to $1,000. Like I go and I list all of these things for them. And most of the time, that's when people are like, wow, you get all of that stuff? I'm like, yeah, you get all that. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that's not bad at all. So when I used to just stop, when someone would say no, or someone would just say that's too expensive, I'd be like, okay. Or I wouldn't message them back, or I wouldn't want to follow up because I was just scared. I was like, oh, they said no. They're saying no because there's no trust there yet. And the fact that they're just kind of like out there, they don't know. We haven't informed them. So if you kind of treat them, I don't like to say treat people like a child, but in this case, if you treat our customers and new coaches like a childlike mindset, because children need to know everything. They're like, the more you explain, the more they're like, okay. So if you do that with your customers, I promise you, like, things are going to just start to change for you. And overcoming the objections, you're going to get more challengers. You're going to get more challengers who turn into coaches. And then as you're posting on your social media consistently over and over, that's part of the invite process. You're going to talk more about coaching rather than just the challenge groups. Because let's be honest, at this point in your business, you're comfortable talking about challenge groups. You've been through challenge groups. It's easier to get people who understand what losing weight or toning up, most people, probably 97% of the country, is going to consistently want to lose some weight or get rid of the bloat or tone up. Like, it's just common, it's humanity, I guess. So that's the easy part. The uncomfortable part for us in this stage of the game is transitioning that into the coaching opportunity where you feel comfortable talking about it. So that's what this group is really geared towards. We want you to become comfortable talking about the coaching, as comfortable as you do with the challenge groups, and knowing that it really will unfold. It will take hold. People will want to join your team. It's just going to take time. And it's going to be to the point where people will start watching for your coaching opportunity posts. And I'm looking for 5 people to mentor, and those things that you'll see myself post about and other leaders on Legacy United, we all do. It's kind of like that priority. It starts to take priority. So I've taught this. I will continue to teach this. This is a system that has worked well for me. I want you guys to really focus the first 2 weeks of every month. I focus solely on challenge groups. That's when you're going to see me posting more of my workouts in the morning, talking more about, did you fall off the wagon this week? Have you had too much football tailgating food? Do you feel bloated? All of that kind of stuff. We're really, like, now we can be promoting the 3-day refresh for our challenge groups, and clean eating and PIO, like all of those things on sale. So you can really do that, and then also just talking about that over and over. I'm looking for 5 more women to join my September Health Focus Challenge group, stuff like that. Asking for referrals. Guys, sometimes we all need reminded. All you have to do is ask. Ask your friends, ask your current challengers, hey, would you mind giving me the name of 3 friends who you think would be interested in this? Hey, do you mind tagging me in a post on your Facebook page talking about what a great success you had with your challenge group? Anything like that. So write it down, put it in your reminders, put it in your notes where you're like, okay, I've got this. I want to see more people coming to me, like telling yourself this. And in order to do that, you have to ask for more things from people. So most people are more than happy to help. And if you get your people who are like your challengers, who are like, yeah, I have no idea. No, I don't know anybody who would want to join a challenge group. That's when you give them a little, like, memory jogger. You say, well, what about a coworker? What about a sister? What about your mom? A neighbor? Somebody you go to the gym with, maybe someone who goes to spin class with you, because a lot of people do still go to the gym or take classes or something like that. Jog their memory, so then they're like, oh yeah, okay, well, so-and-so actually might be interested. You can even go and say, any friends who are teachers or nurses, anyone who has a hard time making time to have breakfast in the morning or something, so you can kind of get that Shakeology aspect out there too. So learning how to talk to people is a way that's really overcoming your objections, is learning how to talk to people and ask more questions and make it always about them instead of you. Like, we're never pushing our agenda on people. And sometimes I think that we get so caught up in worrying that we are pushing our own agenda and our own goals on other people, that we almost take that and we almost devalue ourselves, when really, in turn, if you're in this, everyone here in this group, I know your purpose and I know your intentions are good. They're solid. You want these goals. You want your business to work for such a bigger purpose. So just keep that in mind. You're not pushing your own goals on people. You're literally just trying to help. And in turn, just keep that in the forefront of your mind, saying, I just want to help people realize, that there is a better way of life. We don't have to live paycheck to paycheck, because over 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Like, this is a solution. So be proud to talk about it, even if it's something that you can give someone to help make them an extra $100 to $200 a week. Like, that is huge. You guys, I swear to you, when I started this business, I was not like, I'm going to be a 10-star diamond coach. Like, that was never my goal 2 years ago. My goal 2 years ago, my first month, like my first 5 to 6 weeks in the business, I want to say I made like $300. And I cried and cried and cried, because that was the biggest blessing for my family, because I got to put food on our table that month in cash. And I will always probably get teared up about that, because we had put everything on a credit card, because that was how broke we were. So, like, to me, I had said, and I wrote it on my first goal board, I'm like, to make $300 a month was my huge push goal, because that would provide food for my family. So that's something that small, an extra $50 for a lot of people, that means so much. And then my husband and I, we did our Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. We started that 2 years ago in January. So that's when my eyes were awakened, because I got to see that we weren't the only ones in this situation. Actually, the majority of Americans were in the same position as me. And that's when a fire lit in me, when I'm like, oh, I see my purpose. Like, I want to help people realize that financial struggle does not have to be the norm. It shouldn't be the norm. Like, over 70% of people who stress out about money every single day because they live paycheck to paycheck and they don't have any kind of like savings account. I don't want people to have to feel like that, especially when, obviously this business is not for everyone, but if more people could see the value of starting by themselves, just to help themselves with fitness, and it doesn't even have to be to lose weight, but getting out and working out, exercising, going for a walk, it's a mood enhancer. And then when they start to enhance their mood and they're in a better mood, then it rubs off on other people. You're more positive. And then you just want to, it's kind of like that ripple effect. Then if you're more positive, you want to help more people. You want to make better changes. And that's where it starts. So that's what it means for me. It's so much bigger. So whenever we talk about why recruiting is so vital, this is why. Like, this is my purpose. This is why I set my goals high with intention every month. Does it mean that every person that I'm recruiting is going to just get it and do it? Nope. Again, it's that 1 to 10 ratio. And it makes me sad, but at the same time, I have to turn that like, oh, darn it. Why doesn't everyone just do this? Why not? I can't think like that anymore. I have to say, okay, the people who are going to change, the people who want it, I am so excited for them, and that is who I'm going to spend my time with. That is who I'm going to help, because I'm here doing the same thing for every person. It's just the matter of who is going to take it and run with it and actually see the value and put the value in it themselves. So I hope that helps. You guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about? I'm trying to keep it to like 40, 45 minutes today to get you guys off and doing your thing. No? All right. So really, in a wrap at the end here, I just want you guys to set your goals. So today is Monday. We've been doing this group for a week. I love the participation. I'm encouraging you to keep it up. And I want you to focus. I want you to take your pen and paper out, and I want you to rewrite your goals. Maybe you have some new ones. Maybe you've already achieved the goals that you have set for yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm on for my next weekly goals. Set your mind to a place where you are visualizing the fact that you're already a diamond coach. What's your life going to look like? What is this going to mean so much to you? Celebrate and act as if this goal has already been achieved. And when you do that, when you live in the moment where you're in this vision where you're like, okay, well, my life, I'm already here, you're going to get there a lot faster because you know what it feels like to be there already. And that sounds silly, but Chalene talks about it in the 30-Day Push. It's all about visualization. And I swear to you, when you do that, your goals move faster. You are more inspired to go out there and crush those goals. So get out there. If you're not at Success Club yet, and I know we say this all the time, you need to get there. You know, you need to really make that your priority. You come first. Your business always has to come before your growing team. So for me, it's always Success Club by the 10th to 15th of the month. So that's why I'm recruiting for challenge groups in that first 2 weeks of the month. And then I switch my focus. I'm like, okay. Then the last 2 weeks of the month, I'm always going to just talk about recruiting. And it's going to be those recruiting posts, you know, talking about my story and talking about my agenda and talking about everything, the sneak peeks. So we're going to have a sneak peek that will start next week. I know that it's on the Legacy United calendar. We'll be talking about it more. And then also this coming Friday, I believe, I will keep you guys posted. I'll set it tonight. We're going to do a business opportunity call from Destin at the retreat. So that is something you guys can all be inviting people to. Again, I'll put all of the information up probably in like every single group. So you'll see it duplicated in Legacy United in this group. But you can start inviting people to hear what the business is all about and just really what it's done for us and what it can do for other people. So we'd love to have a bunch of people on that call as well. So keeping those things in mind, going after your goals, just do it, you know, achieve it, believe it. That's what we're here for. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. And then we will be back here. Actually, as of right now, I'm going to say we'll keep this call at this time next Monday. I will not be hosting it, but I'm going to see if somebody else will go ahead. Allie might be able to go ahead and do that if she can. I know she had her baby, so yay, Allie. Congratulations. Can't wait to see him on our little calls. I'm sure she'll have him on Zoom here before too long. But so plan on this time definitely next week as well. So I will see you guys in the group. I'll be chatting with you, and I hope you have an awesome day. See you guys.